Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new to my channel or simply not yet subscribed, my name's Brittany, and definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. Today we're doing something I've never done on my channel before, and we are diving into Am I the A-hole? I love watching people read these and giving their perspective, and I know that I have some strong opinions sometimes of them. So you guys will get to hear my perspective on them today, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you do like it, make sure to hit that like button and let me know so I can keep doing more of them. Before we dive in though, I do have a story of my own. I came the closest to hitting in a person that I ever have. I was driving on I guess it'd be a 4-lane road, like 2 lanes in each direction. And then you have the turning lane as well that's like in the middle. So maybe that's 5 lanes. And there's a person on a bicycle. Not like a motorcycle, a bicycle. And I was driving it 40 miles per hour there. Like around 40. So, 40, between like 40 and 50. And this person, out of nowhere, so I'm in the left lane. There's a turning lane that I'm coming up on next to me, and then I have the right lane next to me, all going the same direction. And I'm in the left lane. A bicycle is in the right lane. And they cut in front of me, no turn signal, nothing, because you're still supposed to follow the rules of the road when you're riding a bicycle on the road. So you're still supposed to signal your turn. No turn signal. Absolutely nothing. They cut in front of me where if I hesitated for even a split second, I would have full on hit the guy. And I had groceries in the back. They went flying. This is how hard I had to slam on my brakes. They went flying so hard from the trunk that it went past Freya in the back seat. So, just the fact that this person didn't even care to look to make sure there wasn't a vehicle in the next lane next to him is absurd to me. He was sideways because it was such last minute. Part of me feels like he wanted me to hit him. I was on the phone with Jeff and I was hyperventilating because of how close I came to hitting this guy. Anyways, food for thought, just pay attention when you are in a car or on a bike or walking, because don't do that to someone. Anyways, let's dive in. Am I the a-hole for being ungrateful of furniture gifted by my mother-in-law? My husband and I recently found out we would be expecting our second child soon. We are planning on giving the new baby our 2-year-old son's current room, since it already has a crib, changing table, rocking chair, etc. We are planning on giving my son a room all on his own, so that he has something exciting just for him while transitioning to life with a new baby in the house. My parents offered to buy a bed, and my mother-in-law offered to buy a dresser for my son's new room. Well, my son loves Lightning McQueen, so both sets of parents have asked if we're planning on getting one of those small toddler car beds. I have said multiple times that we'd rather get something neutral. The bed then can be passed down, and we're waiting to find out the gender. Plus, the kid might not like cars regardless of gender. And that we'd rather get a twin bed so that it can be bought or used for many years. Lo and behold, my mother-in-law bought him a Lightning McQueen bed frame, mattress, and bedding without letting my husband or I know beforehand. She acted offended now and claiming, well, I just thought my grandson would enjoy it. Am I the a-hole for being ungrateful and wanting to return these things gifted to him? Okay, so there is an edit, so I will wait to read that, but I get the mother-in-law's intentions. I think that you know, it is nice that she wanted to do that. Like, Sebastian has a car bed. He loved cars. I thought it was perfect from transitioning him to a bigger bed from a crib because it had the sides, but he could still climb out easy. But I didn't have to worry about him, like, really rolling off. Not that he sleeps in his bed much. But regardless, he does have a car bed. And I do think it is a little while before they'll transition to a real bed from a car bed. Because the car bed is still twin size. That's my personal perspective. But I do kind of think that the mother-in-law is the a-hole here. Because the parents said no. Like, they didn't want to do that. They had this specific vision. If you want to help out, that's great. But this is what we want. And I think it's a little disrespectful to be like, no, I'm going to do this anyways. So while the intentions in general might have been pure, the way it was gone about, I think, was not good. So the edit says, thank you all for the advice and feedback. Still on the fence as to how to approach the situation. My husband is out of town this week for work, and I'd rather us be able to have a conversation and come to an agreement together, which I think is great. But rather my mother-in-law overstepping when our wants are already made clear. She has done this consistently and doesn't seem to pick up on our cues when we told her issues that bother us. For example, she announced when I was going into labor on social media and posted pictures online of my son before us. Big no-no. She took them down, thankfully, when we asked. She also has been told numerous times not to kiss him on the lips for health reasons. Obviously, we don't want anyone doing this, but we always catch her doing that. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. Don't kiss my child. Especially, like, I mean, Sebastian's a little bit older. Not on the lips, that's weird. But Freya's a baby still. And the fact that you have to tell people, do not kiss my child, is insane to me. Especially when they're like freshly born. There are others, but those stick out the most as far as overstepping. I am leaning towards having the bed for a few months / up to a year before getting him a twin bed like originally planned. I have no doubt he'll love it, but I'm thinking of having a conversation with her to say such a big purchase, especially when my own parents have been looking forward to getting his bed, and we have stated multiple times that we were looking for a different kind of bed. I'm not a sad beige mom who doesn't let my kid have fun. His room / our home is decked out in all sorts of color and fun toys. I've just been raised in a practical manner, so that was my train of thought. As the youngest sibling, I also got stuck with my older siblings' character-themed clothing, toys, etc., even if I didn't always like the characters. I figured something neutral that could be passed down for my kids would help eliminate getting stuck with something they might not like. So maybe, like, I think it's great that she is like, okay, well, we're going to put this up. We're just going to have a conversation. Especially if her parents were already stating, hey, we're going to buy this for him. Like, we want to do this for him. I think the grandmother that bought the bed was originally like, hey, I'm going to buy the dresser. So the fact that she just kind of, she wasn't very respectful of anybody else in the situation. So no, I don't think that the mom is an a-hole. I think the mother-in-law is. Am I the a-hole for not staying out of adult business and ruining my dad's marriage? Okay, so this is it says it's a throwing account because people in the family know my main. I, 15-year-old female, am in a weird situation and would like an outside perspective. My parents' mother is a 37-year-old female and dad, 42-year-old male, only child together. And I have a stepmom, Eve, who is 42. From what I was told, my dad and my stepmom were a couple first, but things didn't work out shortly after they had my siblings. After she discovered that she was pregnant with me, my dad didn't marry Eve, and from what my aunts told me, she was really bitter about that and used my siblings as a weapon to punish my dad and my mom. Okay, so the stepmom was was in the relationship before the mom came into the picture, but I'm assuming they like split up first. My mom tried her best, but after she found out that my dad and Eve were sleeping together, she got it. Okay, so my understanding, the dad was with Eve, which is the stepmom, and then they broke up. He got in a relationship with the mom and continued at some point sleeping with his ex, Eve, so the mom called things off. During the marriage, my dad had established businesses that grew, and because my mom was able to prove that she had done unpaid labor for my dad's business, my mom had some leverage within the divorce and agreed to relinquish a stake in the company for alimony, the house, and a car for herself while getting child support for me. For the next couple of years, my mom focused on me and getting back to school because my dad convinced her to stop while she was taking a break from her studies to save up more money. She eventually graduated and tried looking for work, but nothing really interested her. My dad and stepmom, who had gotten married by then, were always angry with my mom for not getting a job, so that there would be less alimony to pay, and tried to get 50-50 custody of me to try and reduce child support. But I never liked living with my dad full time because I was often made to babysit their younger children. My older siblings were never warmed up to me, and I didn't like the way Eve and her family would talk about my mom. Eventually, my mom got certified for a job she wanted and has been an independent contractor for years. Because of this, my mom submitted the paperwork to stop alimony, and she's been living life. Last week, when I was with my stepmom Eve, my sister Zoe, who's 20, and Eve's sisters, were in the living room saying very rude things about my mom. They called her a side piece, a gold digger, and said that my older sister had to take out loans because of the increase in alimony that my mom was awarded. I walked in and called Eve and Zoe liars, that my mom was never the side piece, and my mom has been working for years, so there was no alimony. There was a big confrontation, and I ended up leaving, but I later sent Eve, Zoe, and one of Eve's sisters a link to my mom's professional social media page that listed the companies she worked for. Turns out my dad never told his family that the alimony payments stopped, and instead of putting the extra money towards them, he's been keeping it for spending it elsewhere. It's crazy over there, and my dad and a few of his family members are saying that I'm wrong for meddling in grown folks' business. I just hated how they were talking and spreading lies about my mom, but maybe I went about it wrong. Am I? No. One, your dad sounds like a piece of work. One, he cheated. I don't know when. She makes it seem like Eve and like her stepmom and her dad were not together when her mom and him were, and then they kind of rekindled things while he was in a relationship with the mom. But regardless of the situation, it is your dad. Your dad is the a-hole. 1, for cheating. 2, for lying. And, I mean, the stepmom and stuff kind of is too. Like, I get not liking your ex's or your partner's ex and stuff, but when you're talking about them and then their child is present, that's not okay. That's never okay. And I'm curious what he's spending the missing alimony stuff on. Am I the a-hole for wearing shorts and bra when my mom's partner is at our house? So my mom's partner came over today, and it was pretty hot today, so I wanted to wear something a bit cooler. I wanted to wear a sports bra and bike shorts because they're comfy and not too hot. And I don't really think what I'm wearing is very revealing as such. Anyway, I usually stay in my room when he's over, but went out to do some sewing for a school project and get a drink. And when I went back to my room, my mom came in and told me next time I want to come out, I have to put more clothes on. Am I the a-hole? If you are worried about your significant other checking out your daughter, maybe you shouldn't be with them. Like, maybe that's a little alarming. I'm just gonna leave it there. No, you're not. You, like, wear whatever you want. It's not like you were walking out in a bra and underwear. You had a sports bra on, which many girls just wear because it's hot, because they're exercising. Like, and you're wearing biker shorts. I was literally wearing those the other day. Like, that same type of outfit. Am I going out and doing all of my grocery shopping like that or whatever? Personally, me, probably not. But still, who cares? Like, you're covered. You're living your best life. You're not revealing anything. If your mom is worried about a grown man that she is in a relationship with checking you out or thinking inappropriate thoughts about you, then she needs to find a new perspective and find a new man. Freya's playing with things next to me. Yeah. I, the a-hole. So this is a 26-year-old female getting jealous of my boyfriend's 23. Her boyfriend's 23. So she's 26. He's 23, and he has a 19-year-old female cousin. And she's asking, is she the a-hole for getting jealous of the cousin? First of all, I'm not that crazy jealous girl who tells her man not to interact with other women or that he can't have close female friends. But this relationship between him and his cousin is kind of irritating me. She said it weird. Even though he introduced me to her, she's the sweetest kid ever. And also, she's in a relationship with a dude who's also jealous of their relationship. But that's a little alarming how both significant others are sus. But lately, they grew close, but it wasn't always like that. The cousin found out she can talk to him about anything, and he would never brat her out like the other family members. But the intimacy between them, I don't know, it's just truly bothering me. The other day, he jokingly choked her, pinning her to the wall because she did something goofy in front of me, and I couldn't help but being truly annoyed, and I showed it. To which he apologized and promised it would never happen again, and he kept that promise. To be honest, I hate that I'm even thinking about this. But the last holiday, he was at his grandma's, where all of the family gathered, and I was at my parents'. He woke up, texted me, and told me she walked in on him sleeping to wake him up because they were going out or something like that. She puts in parentheses, keep in mind she has a brother who was there and could have woken him up himself, which, I mean, I don't really see the big deal about her waking him up. He didn't think very much of it, but I can't get it out of my mind. Is it kind of intimate, or am I just overreacting? Again, I love them both. She's like a baby sister to me, and she comes to me asking for guidance, and whenever she wants to talk about anything, I got her. I feel disgusted by myself just thinking about this. Also, he doesn't have any sisters, so I bet this is how he would treat a sister if he had one. Am I the a-hole for getting jealous of this? Most likely. I mean, there are some strange people out there, but most likely there's nothing to really get jealous of. If he was constantly choosing to hang out with her instead of hang out with you, and, you know, then maybe I could see getting jealous of that. I mean, I guess we need more information, because just like them, I don't know, like play fighting or like her going in and waking him up. I don't think that's a huge deal. Like they're family. I don't think that anything is really going on there. But I mean, I could be wrong. Again, there's weird people. But personally, yeah, I think that you're just a little bit too sus. I'm curious what that her boyfriend thinks, because she said that she was the boyfriend was jealous of the relationship too. So what else is happening that's making you guys so jealous? I was in a relationship where the brother and sister were super close. And I did get jealous. Not because I thought something was happening, but because he flat out told me that he would pick his sister over me at any point. And not if my sister needs me, like I'm gonna pick her. But then what if I need you? And he would tell me he had no money, and so then I would pay for our food and stuff, which was fine. But then he'd go and buy his sister Taco Bell or something when he just told me he had no money. So I wasn't jealous. I think they're doing something. I was jealous, like, okay, well, do you want to be in a relationship with me? Because this isn't equal. Like, I'm not being treated to feel special. So, I mean, but his sister is always nice to me. I don't have any, bad blood towards her. So I get if it's like a quality time thing that you're looking for, and he's giving it to her and not giving it to you, and that's a little weird. But it doesn't really seem like that. I'm just a little confused. Pretty same consensus, like, it's probably nothing to worry about, and not really understanding why she's jealous. Am I the a-hole for not canceling my guys trip? I, 35-year-old male, and my wife, 31-year-old female, recently began construction on a new home. Thankfully, everything's gone smoothly, and we are nearing the completion on the home. Our closing date is set, and we are scheduled to get the keys to the brand new house in the next couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I have a scheduled vacation the week of our closing date. This trip of mine is a guys trip that is annual. Every year, the guys and I rent a cabin and spend a Wednesday through Sunday board gaming. Our closing day falls on the Friday of my trip. What I plan to do is drive home to complete the closing and sign all the paperwork, then drive back to rejoin the rest of my group. This trip was planned well in advance before we ever began construction on our home, and has long since been paid for. Here is the issue. My wife wants me to go on my trip on Wednesday and then leave my trip Friday, canceling the rest of the vacation and not returning to the rest of the group. She wants me to be present for the move-in. While I completely understand not wanting to move into a house by yourself, I have already gotten this taken care of. I have arranged for a friend of mine who owns a moving company to complete the moving of our stuff into the new home. I have also arranged for TVs to be hung, mirrors to be hung, curtains to be hung, internet to be installed, etc. All of this is scheduled. My wife is very angry with me that I won't cancel my trip, and I think it is unreasonable for her to ask me to cancel. This is the one opportunity I get every year to get together with my guy friends to do something we love, and it is important to me. I have tried to explain to her, but she says I am leaving her hanging. Of course, it sucks our closing was scheduled in the middle of the trip, but that is something I couldn't help. Yeah, no, you're the a-hole. I'm sorry. I get that this, you didn't mean for them to overlap. You moving into a home together, whether it's your first home, your second home, it's a big deal. And it's probably making your wife feel like she's not very important and that this move is not very important. I mean, if it's Wednesday through Sunday, you're still getting to hang out with the guys a couple of days. So I don't really understand what the huge deal is. You can still hang out with them Wednesday. You can still hang out with them Thursday. You part of Friday and then you head home for the closing and to help your wife move. I get it. Like, you plan for people to do all these other things, but you're not being a team with her. I think it's completely, she's not asking you to cancel your trip. She's asking you to leave early and be a team with her. So I think that it's completely reasonable for her to, she's probably upset that she even has to ask and that you don't want to just be there for that. Like, that's a big moment. This happens every year. You're moving into this house once. So that's it for me, you guys. If you guys want me to do another Am I the A-hole, make sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, I love you guys. Bye.